Alright, we're here. Hello. I'm gonna get started here because we got a long cutscene. So here's Mega Man 7. Pretty notorious for this cutscene that we're gonna watch here, and so I'm gonna get my donation in, and I suggest you do the same while we're watching this. Okay, so oh, I always forget to count down. We're still going, right?
Man. Yeah, right. We're still going.
Let's keep going.
That helmet joke gets me every time.
So obviously this is the first Mega Man for Super Nintendo, and it looks quite a bit different. Missed the one frame input.
Yeah, it plays quite a bit different as well.
It does
The
this.
slide and charge are still there, but charge it takes a little bit longer than like you're used to in the NES, and it also only deals 2 damage instead of 3.
Right. Yeah, the sprites are just really big, so it's like your slide goes the entire screen, pretty much. In this intro, we're going to be doing a lot of damage boosting because at the end we're going to fight Forte, and the fight will end, it's scripted, when we have a certain amount of health. So basically, it's going to look like I'm the worst player in the world, but it's intentional.
Yeah, the fight with Base at the end, you can either win by winning or win by losing, and it's faster to win by losing. Unless you're tasked. You can see on this Man Crusher here just how short Mega Man's iframes are in this game. That's going to be coming into play a lot later. You don't have nearly the iframes that you'd be used to from a 1 through 6 run.
So we're going to go first into Cloud, which is quite a scary stage in a marathon. There's one part that's basically allows you, if I do it right, I can skip a cycle of the Cloud platforms, but it looks pretty scary, and it is pretty scary, so hopefully
yeah, it definitely is. Good luck. Yeah, so we're going to Cloud first, just because we need an easy boss to buster, so that pretty much just leaves Cloud or Freeze. It turns out Cloud's a little bit faster just because of how ubiquitous T-Bolt is compared to Freeze Cracker.
We also need the T-Bolt to get Rush Jet.
Yep.
In the next stage.
There are quite a few items in this game. There's a surprising amount of collectibles, but we're only going to be getting Rush Jet.
Alright. So that was the
nice.
jump. That was...
Yeah, that saves about 5 or 6 seconds compared to just waiting on the clouds.
The other thing coming up at the end is, I don't know the name of the guys, but the fan enemies, they can really troll you. If they blow against you, it wastes a lot of time. These guys here. Ooh. You can make that jump even if he blows you, because I think if you're in iframes, you're not affected, but I didn't slide far enough.
The freaking foo-foos, dude.
They're
the best name, but they're just the word.
Let's do this trick again.
Yeah, not sure how random these guys actually are. It seems like if you hit certain parts of the stage consistently, then they're somewhat consistent, but still very annoying.
I've never found any pattern. All I know is like it's very rare to have them all belong against you. I've seen it a few times, but
Yeah,
it seems to be
I
uncommon.
don't think I've ever seen that.
So this fight, I'm going to be alternating charge shots and uncharged shots, just like in Mega Man X games. You can charge while the lemon is traveling, so it helps get a little extra charge. Okay.
This is your CFO strat from X2, if you like. It's way more important here though, just because of how poor the charge is.
Yeah, it's not great. It only does two damage. It also, though, is faster. It travels faster, so that comes into play as well. So here you'll see I got Dr. Light. After every Robot Master, there's a cutscene where in the Japanese version, which I'm playing, you can get either Dr. Light, Auto, or Roll to talk to you. And they all take a different amount of time to play out. So Dr. Light that we got there saves like 4 or 5 seconds generally over the other guys.
Yeah, the US version only has Dr. Light, so it's consistent. But Dr. Light in the Japanese version is always faster, but the other two, Auto or Roll, in the Japanese version, you can lose varying amounts of time with Dr. Light.
I'm gonna go for this zip. Nope. There's a zip there where you can get up on the ceiling. If you get hit by that mosquito at the same frame you're under the door, and then you can slide across the top of the next room. That seems a little time.
Like a second or two, maybe?
Yeah, not much. I don't go for it even in my PB attempts.
Yeah, it's not much. This game does have zips. Most people are surprised to learn that just because nobody really goes for them, considering
I'm gonna be going for those. I put in
the zips in the game combined save maybe 10 or 15 seconds.
I'll be going for the Springman zip, which I just learned the other day. It's pretty good.
Yeah, freaking innovator over here.
Now, Joker showed me that. Joker forced me into doing it.
Alright, so I picked up Rush Jet, and we're going to be using it here to get through this section a little bit easier. Killing this worm just because it's very, very laggy. Sliding on in Junkman.
So Junkman, a lot of the bosses in this game, if you hit them with their weakness, they'll be stunned. But it turns out if we hit Junkman with, like, I don't know how to explain it. If you hit him and then let the explosion, if you shoot him with Thunderbolt, it'll split up and down when it hits him. If you hit him with the part that splits, it won't lock him in that stun. And that saves quite a bit of time.
Yeah, it's not quite as hard as it looks. The timing's a little bit tricky, but it basically amounts to just shooting a little bit earlier than you
Yeah, it's pretty easy. It's 2 Dr. Lights. Here we go.
Nice.
Yeah, I just wanted to come in with 2 quick donations while we're waiting on Dr. Light, if you don't mind. First off, Almond kept true on his promise of donating during the opening cutscene with $20. He just said speed waiting. Good job, Almond. Thank you. And also we got $1.23 from Kyle Precise, and he put his donation to naming Robo and Chrono Trigger O and N. Thank you guys very much for those donations.
Alright, Orsa, should I do it?
That's up to you. I don't want to be responsible for this.
I think we'll do it.
Alright. So there's a jump in this stage that's really dumb.
It's really
1
good.
or 2 pixels, depending on subpixels. But it saves like maybe 2 seconds if you get it, and it kills you if you don't.
Easy.
Yo, God gamer.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
I died on the free jump afterwards.
You got the hard one anyway. So.
Do I do it again? I'm gonna game over if I do it again.
Yeah. You got it once, you got nothing to prove.
So I will just wait.
Yeah, the only time difference is just waiting for this guy to drop his ice. Also, we picked up Junk Shield from Junkman. You can see it in this stage. The Junk Shield is pretty good. It does a lot of damage, has a lot of particles to it that all deal a lot of damage. The only bad part about Junk Shield is it lags the game like. So if you're going to use it, then you better have some lag reduction strats.
Yeah, it's important. A lot of the times you'll see me try to use it in the air because if you use it on the ground, Mega Man has to stop and do his dumb animation. Alright, so we're gonna go to possibly the hardest Robot Master stage in First Man.
Yeah, I'd say so.
It's like probably really difficult casually. The speedrun's pretty difficult depending on what strats you do. There's some really tough things you could do that pretty much no one goes for, but we'll see what happens. There's a mid boss in this stage, and once we get past that mid boss, I think the last room has a water cycle that goes up and down, and I believe that cycle starts once you beat the boss. So as long as we play consistently, we'll pretty much know where we are in the cycle.
Yeah, so here at the start, there's a pretty cool strat to get past these bombs. This looks way scarier than it actually is, I promise. I'm sliding across these spikes here.
Thunderbolt's actually a pretty good weapon. It does quite a bit of damage. So here we got Junk Shield being overpowered.
It's gonna just tear through this crab boss here.
Alright, so here we go.
Switch to Jet here. Jump off of Jet. Look at that speed. And then here's where the water cycle starts.
I think it's also important to note that Rush Jet is actually pretty slow. So you want to be pretty much only on Rush Jet where you need to. I think even just walking is faster. Oh, okay. This is fine. I'm gonna take some intentional hits. Okay.
Very nice.
Oops. This boss is pretty easy once you get in his cycle.
Fairly static. The timing on the hits can be a little bit hard because his iframes wear off very, very soon before he shoots a bubble. So if you mistime it at all, then it might be going up.
Yeah, once you get out of that rhythm, it's kind of hard to get back in.
Right, here we go.
Alright. If I get a certain cutscene here, which I will not mention, it will lose 12 seconds. Nope, okay. So if you get a roll right there, you literally have lost 12 seconds. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's not even an exaggeration. It's literally 12 seconds to a cutscene. It's kind of stupid.
So here we go with, we're halfway. We come to this museum stage where Dr. What's his name? Wily is stealing Gutsman, and we're gonna fight the clown, which I think is a pretty neat looking fight, but it should be the same every time. Just hit him with the first man's weapon. I don't know what else to say here. Do we have any more donations?
We actually just got in a donation, $25, that just says, "Come on, let's get these cutscenes done." This is the new cutscene, and that is referencing the fact that in Orsa's Mega Man 8 run coming up, that there is a donation incentive to watch some of the terribly awesome, terribly bad cutscenes in Mega Man 8. So we've got the mid cutscene done now. But if you donate $25 by the end of this run, we'll be also be able to see the intro cutscene.
Wait, can I put my $20 to that?
Sound good? I think it's 25 overall, so we've got the mid cutscene done.
Yeah, nice fight here. Ideally, you want to knock his head off immediately, and then if you are placing your bubbles right, you should be able to take him out before he picks it back up.
Let's just keep track of my my cutscene luck here has been incredible. I got 3 Dr. Lights so far.
Yeah, the variance between English and Japanese is actually pretty intense. Like, the Japanese version could be upwards of 40 seconds faster, and it could be downwards of 20 seconds slower, just depending on how many Dr. Lights you get.
Yeah, I think generally the rule of thumb is that you need 3 Dr. Lights in the Japanese version to be faster.
So it is a gamble which version you decide to run.
But it's a fun gamble.
There are some route variances here in the second half. Almond's going to be going for the 1 quick kill route, doing Slash Man first. You can also choose to go straight to Shade, get Noise Crush, and hope for 2 quick kills, but that route is much harder and barely saves any more time.
Until we figure out how to fight Slash Man with the Scorch Wheel.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
So this is a brand new strat right here. This is really cool. We used to fight this guy with Junk Shield, but just stand above and drop mines on instead.
So this fight is actually very interesting coming up. Slash Man, I don't know if it's damage or the number of times you hit him, but he'll retreat to the ceiling after you hit him a couple times, but we can manipulate his jumps to kind of do what we want him to do.
Yeah, normally it's just, if you hit him twice, he'll go up to the ceiling, but he'll prioritize hitting you over retreating. So if you lock him into an attack pattern, you can actually get a 3rd hit on him like that.
Right, avoid the catch-up. Alright, I think we got all our hits. Yeah. Pretty good.
Yeah, really good.
So Springman coming up, fairly uneventful stage usually. I'm going to try to do a zip that, oh, another light, incredible. Basically if you're on Rush Jet and you slide, if you're sliding, somehow you get near the ceiling and slide, and when you stand up you are in the ceiling and it will eject you out to the right, and that, if I do it, it will put me like on the screen ahead. It's kind of hard. Pretty much I think we just ride out Junk Shield in this stage to kill all the Slinkies, and that's pretty much about it.
Do this in a few spots where you sort of ride Rush Jet into the ceiling, and then Mega Man stands up and ejects himself upwards into the ceiling. But it's very, very hard to do. think I've ever done it without emulator slowdown.
Yeah, it's not free. It's not easy. Oh. Nope. Oh, come on. It's...
Yeah, thankfully it doesn't really lose any time to go for
Yeah,
it.
that's kind of why I
You
go
need to
for
switch
that.
to Rush Jet on the next screen anyway.
Yeah. Right. This fight is pretty easy. Just pretty much time your jump with his and slash him in the face.
Yep, his iframes were up just a little bit before he gets out of your reach, so all you gotta do is jump and hit him again. It's so easy you can do it with one hit.
What's your music pick for Shade, Orsa?
Classic.
I know some people in chat are gonna be on my case if I pick the wrong music.
Some people in this call are gonna be on your case if you pick the wrong music.
I see how it is.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, look at this. Where was this earlier today when I got a new record? That's 5 lights.
Oh my god.
Like, I think I've gotten 5 lights twice, maybe. So there's a, I guess, Easter egg, if you want to call it, where if you hold B and select Shade, you'll get like a Ghosts and Goblins or whatever music, and the task claims it saves 10 frames. So generally, I do that.
The screen transitions a little bit faster if you do.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, at the start, you mean?
Yeah, like on the
okay.
Shade intro screen.
This is a pretty cool stage.
Yeah, the person who used to have the record before Almond Ion Grab Array always said that he would never be able to be as fast as the task because he refused to listen to the wrong.
I hate that.
So this stage is kind of interesting in that there's sort of 2 diversion paths here depending on exactly how you defeat Vampookin. If you defeat the outside part of it, then you go right, but if you wait till he opens up and then defeat him, you go down. And right is significantly faster than down.
Yeah, that's that pumpkin fight is pretty cool. If you can get a lot faster than you would think you can possibly get. Like you can get him like when he's like in his first jump, and it's really hard though.
Yeah, there's a pretty high skill cap to that fight just because you sort of need to cancel your T-bolts by getting it to bounce into Vampookin as well. If it bounces up above him, then you have to wait till it leaves the screen to fire again. So, Wild Coil here from Springman, you can actually charge this to make it bigger, and you can hold up to make it bounce higher, and this is just going to wreck Shade Man really hard. Thankfully, he only gets the longer stun iframes from the uncharged coil, not the charged one.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
I'm not sure why they did that.
If I get a light here, I'm gonna flip out. Okay. So coming up is Turbo. There's a pretty scary cycle in like the second screen where if you're not fast enough, you're gonna die. So we'll see if we can do that. And then at the end, we're gonna try for the infamous trick, impossible game trick, where we instantly kill him.
Yeah, this is... Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I just wanted to mention that we got donations in. One from the Dorito Viking for $5 that just says no MSG. I'm not sure what that reference is, but I'm assuming something. Kyle Precise also donated $5 and said, let's watch all the cutscenes. And so we have met both the intro and mid cutscenes for Mega Man 8. So you guys are going to enjoy that. And just want to mention that we're only 800, we're less than $800 away from our goal, so keep donating, guys.
Oh, I was not gonna make it.
Yeah. If you don't, my rule of thumb was always if you don't get the boost from the tire, then don't go for it.
Generally, yeah, I mean, it's preferred to get the boost, but usually I can make it without it. Just didn't feel like I was gonna make it there, so
Yeah.
better play it safe. We're gonna fight
So,
this truck guy. I don't remember what his name
Yeah.
is, but
Sissy Truck, Sissy Roll's cousin. And after that, we're going to be coming up on Turbo. Basically, the way this window works is that whenever you walk through a boss door, you have one frame where you have control of Mega Man in order. And if you shoot exactly on that frame, so you press right to transition through the door, and then press shoot to release, then you will bounce across into the room, and it will hit Turbo right. Fortunate that we didn't get it, but it's not the end of the world here.
yeah, there's an easier setup than what I've been doing, but it involves stopping, and I haven't practiced it in a while. So I go for the non-stop, which if you miss it, you don't lose like the 3 seconds of setup time, but it's a lot harder.
Right.
Okay, so we're gonna watch another cutscene if you feel like getting another donation in.
Very long cutscene this time.
Yeah.
Well, don't have a donation for yet, but just want to mention that you guys are all watching Bring 'em Over, which obviously an online marathon that we're doing, and we're raising money specifically to bring the speedrunners Percy and Cassio III to AGQ 2018. So Cassio is Mega Man 3 specialist from Brazil. Percy, he just runs just about absolutely everything. He's coming from Germany, and most of these guys are going to be running Mega Man 3 and Mega Man 1 to 3 Relay at AGQ 2018. So if you guys want to help make sure that those two get here to next GDQ and be an enjoyable watch for all, donate. And just also want to give a big shout out to so many of the people that have been helping get this working, such as Almond, who's Rennie, Red Suzo, ClickSpark, Colonel Fatso, Darkman78, Eldra, Orsa, who's doing commentary here, Peapod Dot, Terex, Trucoden, Soda, and more. Just had a ton of help in making sure that this marathon will be going great. So thank all you guys for watching and for donating.
Yeah, what's our total right now for donations?
Our total is currently at $3,221.87.
Nice.
So if you don't know the plot to this game, I will summarize it for you here in this cutscene. They thought Base was good, but Base was actually bad, and he tore up the lab and then stole the super adapter parts, and now you gotta go fight him. That's it. So Wily won. This is actually a really fun stage here at the start. There's some really fun movement here.
Alright, we got more of the band guys coming up. They can really troll you here too. Okay. Wow, that went really well.
Nice. Yeah, you got the junk shields tonight. That's really sick. I love that strat.
We're gonna go for cool jump. That's really scary if you're
Nice.
like going for a PV attempt. If you're ahead of your time.
Yeah, you're supposed to be waiting on these platforms, but if you make some very tight jumps combined with rush jet, you can buy pretty quick.
Here's our first fight with Forte. pretty much some of his shots you just are gonna get hit. So as long as you're hitting him, usually fine.
Forte takes 2 damage from most everything, but his iframes are really short, so you basically want to be hitting him with the fastest possible thing, which turns out to be noise crush.
Okay, please hit me.
There's also a weird double hit at the end, where if Forte has 4 HP, you can hit him twice with noise crush, and he'll just go down to 1 instantly.
Health's a bit low. This guy, if he wants to kill you, he can kill you pretty much, depending on what pattern he gives you, but we're going to alternate between slashing him and hitting his blocks back at him. Okay. Okay. Nice. So he can do a different attack where he charges at you. You pretty much have to run into him twice, which does a lot of damage. So I think that's the fight we want right there.
Wiley to Wily 2 now. This is, for my money, the hardest stage to be consistent at in the game. Not only is it like a pretty difficult stage on its own, but it also has a really dumb boss at the end.
For sure, yeah. I had a record run today, which pretty much I lost 16 seconds to my PV to the boss. So it's, if you play like how you're supposed to, it's generally okay, but if you mess up anything, you're out of luck.
Yep. Very easy to make mistakes with the turtle. So here we have basic end. This fight is actually like my favorite fight in the game. This one's really fun
It's
to
really
do well.
hard.
There's a little bit of luck associated with this fight, depending on which side base comes down on with the super adapter punch. But it actually doesn't matter at all, like you can still do the strat. Whatever your strat is, because I've seen about 17 variants on this fight. But
Oh, come back. Okay.
and you can still do the double hit at the end here as well. He has 4 HP,
Yeah.
just fire twice and you'll hit him.
I actually really like the second half of the stage. There's some pretty neat screens.
Yeah.
What else? There was this room can get you good if you mess up, like even slightly.
Yeah, or if you don't know what to do, like, I think I had a 44 before Hotdog told me to just hold right on the springs. So you can quick swap in this game. The only thing you can't quick swap to are rush adapters. So you'll see Almond before he wants to pull out coil, he'll switch to wild coil, which is the closest thing on the menu just to save some input.
Alright, here's our guy. This is the worst boss in the game.
Yeah,
Alright.
there is an astronomical amount of luck associated with this fight. It's luck based depending on how many fire things he throws, how many times he bashes, which turtle pattern he gives you. All of that can contribute to time one you're not prepared for. So wrap up the BB turtle and put it back into. It does insane damage. I think it's 8.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
So that went okay, I guess.
2 cycles. Can't complain.
Coming up is actually my favorite stage, I think. There's a jump at the start here that's like really hard, because I think they intended you to have all the other extra super armor or whatever. So the first screen is actually pretty difficult to get by, and then yeah, I'm gonna do a lot of weapon swapping in the second room. So we'll see. Okay, that jump right there.
Yeah, these jumps are just barely makeable slide jumps. They're very, very annoying.
Alright, that was good.
Yeah, nice. Room can be scary with the invisible floor.
Yeah, that freeze cracker strat is kind of hard because it's easy to. Okay, we're dead. It's easy to get caught holding down.
Classic. Oh my god. Okay.
I'm so dead. I need to use the E-tank. What was I saying?
The freeze cracker strat?
Yes. Yeah, so you can angle your freeze cracker up and down, and you need to shoot down. So, but sometimes you just get caught holding it down and you slide and die. I'm gonna use this.
Yeah, you need to release down to jump and then repress it. It's very easy. Just forget that part of it.
Yeah, this fight is really interesting. I don't actually know, like, you can't tell when his iframes are, as far as I know.
I don't think so.
So it's kind
Never
of a
had a good
crapshoot.
grasp on this fight.
That was a pretty good fight.
Yeah, Noise Crush is really cool. Like, I don't think I mentioned it at all, but the way you charge it is just by running into it. So, like, blocking it with Mega Man's body. And you can either do that by bouncing it off of a wall, or firing it and then sliding immediately, and you'll actually catch up to it. You can also use the missiles in this fight to sort of get yourself a boost to the Noise Crush. There's lots of different ways to do this one.
So we're up to refights. I think for me the first two robots are the hardest. Freeze and Slash. I do the Scorch Wheel strat on Freeze because I think Scorch does 3, I think, but it doesn't set him in his weakness animation, so it's slightly faster. But it's quite harder.
Yeah, it's 3 compared to 4, I think.
It's just kind of hard once you get in a weird pattern. Okay, that was okay.
Scorch Wheel's a really awkward weapon to use, but it lags way less than Jump Shield, so.
Yeah, you can hold, if you hold the shoot button, it'll stay, like, on your body. It's also a good weapon on Slash because it does almost as much as Freeze, but it doesn't cause him to do this, like lay on the ground forever. Oh my gosh, dude, please.
Yeah, the nice part about this fight in the 2 quick go route is having Noise Crush here. Because if you're doing this with Buster and you get catch up, then you just lose your charge. Whereas if you are doing it with Crush, then you can maintain your charge even if you get the catch up.
So the Cloudman fight's kind of cool. You hit him with Danger Wrap, and then hit him with his own weapon in his face when you can't hit him with this anymore. You have to do a turn cancel. Okay.
Shoutouts to Mega Man 6.
Oh, I messed up. That's not good.
Yeah, you have to, whenever you're using Danger Wrap, you have to actually hold down and drop it on him. Because if you hit him with the bubble part, then it, like, he goes inside the bubble and floats up. It takes forever.
Yeah.
So as long as you're actually dropping the mine on him, then you're going fast.
Okay, this is not bad. Some of these fights are exactly the same as in the regular stage, some of them are slightly different. This one's exactly
These
the
last
same.
3 are going to be the same, though, I think.
Yeah.
So, if
Well,
you plug anything, then this is going to be a good time to do it before Wily.
Shademan fight's slightly different. I think it's pretty cool. 'Cause
Oh, that's true.
You can jump up and hit him with a fully charged shot.
Yeah, you can't enter this fight with the charge in the refight, so the timing on it is a little bit harder to get than it is in the first fight.
That was a good fight. Alright, so coming up is Wily Machine, which is, he's got some randomness to him, but generally he's not really too much of a problem.
Yeah, he basically has two patterns. He can either throw little tiny machine copies at you, or he can just throw himself at you. Ideally, you want to see the little tiny machines, because he stays on screen for longer when he does that. You can get a lot more T-bolt hits.
Excuse me.
The only thing you want to watch out for here is it's really easy to dink a T-bolt on his iframes, and if you do that, you only are doing 1 damage compared to 2.
This is not good. Really not good. I'm not even gonna hit him. So
no.
you can hit him like,
It's the worst pattern.
yeah, that's quite bad. You can hit him when he's like off the screen if you take a bunch of damage.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna do that. That's pretty rare to get that pattern actually. So here's everyone's favorite boss.
Also,
Wily
How much
Capsule. If he spawns in a certain spot, I can hit him with 2 fully charged coils. So that's what we're going for.
I think there's 7 potential spawn locations, and 5 of them are double hittable. The top 2 are not, unless you are guessing that he's going to spawn there. Good luck with that.
Yeah, that's a sub 41 strat.
Thankfully, if he is too high, though, you can just quick swap to Freeze Cracker and get the second hit. It's not too bad. You did pick up the Super Tank in Wily 3, which refills all your health and energy.
This is
That's
incredible
really nice.
luck. Oh, I messed it up.
Oh no. Yeah, we have setups for 5 of these. One of them is really hard.
The low one?
Yeah, the low left one.
I've been, yeah.
The problem with it is you have to get coil off. Both coil particles have to leave the screen.
Alright, we got time coming up right there.
Yeah. That's time. Both coil particles have to leave the screen before you can start charging another one.
Yeah.
And it's really, really annoying to get nervous.
So,
Yeah.
what was the time there?
42, it looks like, maybe?
Maybe high 42?
Yeah. Yeah, good run. GG.
Thank you. Are we gonna watch Mega Man walking through fire?
Oh man. Not sure. Are we?
I don't know.
Best credits in the entire Mega Man series.
I mean, I am a couple minutes ahead on my estimate, Chelmy. So thank you. Thank you, Orsa, for helping me.
Yeah, of course.
Should I cut Chelmy? What should I do? Alright, I'll just leave it up. Thank you, guys.